Welcome back to the channel. It's Nick at NovaAdventures and something a little bit different in this episode. This one has been on the cards for so long, and yes, we've actually made it. Coming into view there is the Pont Cysystell aqueduct spanning the River Dee, and in English it means the bridge that connects. So a few fun things about the aqueduct. It is the highest navigable aqueduct in the world with a height of 38 meters. It spans 307 meters, and also it took 10 years to build, from the 25th of July 1795, and it opened on the 26th of November 1805. The aqueduct was designed and built by Thomas Telford. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that starts from the Trevor Basin at the start of the aqueduct, running all the way through to Horseshoe Waterfall, the other side of Llangollen, and you will see that later on in the vlog. The aqueduct is constructed of stone piers, so there are 18 piers and 19 arches. It has a cast iron trough, and for that reason, every winter, the Glandwr Cymru, or the Canal and River Trust, close the aqueduct so they can maintain the trough, and it also has a Grade 1 listed status. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one. As I said, it's been on the cards for such a long time, and my God, I am glad we got there. What an amazing place to be. It's great having the DJI Mini 4 Pro drone. As you can see, I can get shots like this. So you can walk the aqueduct free of charge, but a donation can also be given to help with the upkeep of the aqueduct itself. And you walk along what would have been the towpath for the horses to pull the narrow boats before diesel engines were installed. So there is a barrier on the east side of the aqueduct, as you can see there, but care must be taken when you have young children, as the spacing between the vertical bars are more than 100 mil. The last recorded death on the aqueduct was a young 18-year-old lad from Wrexham who tragically fell and died from chest injuries. You can see right in the center of the video, a guy has just got on top of the roof of that narrow boat, and he sits there taking selfies of himself. Now, in my opinion, this behavior is silly. It shouldn't occur. It's very dangerous and could lead to his death, or at least very serious injuries. So there he is on top of the boat taking selfies. There he is moving again. Look, not a care in the world. Bit further along in the vlog now, you see that gentleman turn around and stand up. Look at that, unbelievable. He starts walking to the front of the narrow boat. That behavior is damn right stupid. I mean, he could slip there 38 meters and he would have fell to almost certain death. He hasn't got a care in the world. Unbelievable. Whilst we were there at the aqueduct, I could see some canoeists having fun on the water. So we take David just along the River Dee for a few, what seemed minutes or hours were actually only seconds. And we follow the canoeists coming down through the aqueduct arches there. There they are, coming into view now. And then they bypass us and go down the rapids, having a lot of fun. There they go, look to your left hand side. They wait in the calm pool there, just in front of the sewage works building, and then they go to the left and through the rapids. Having left the aqueduct, we drove to Llangollen and we walked along the canal to the end, or to the start, should I say, to the Horseshoe Falls. The purpose of these falls is to divert water from the River Dee so that it can enter the Llangollen Canal. It was, of course, built by that famous and brilliant engineer, Thomas Telford. The weir itself is 140 metres long, or in old money, 460 feet long. You can get a steam train from the centre of Llangollen, which goes through the gorge and alongside the River Dee, and it has stunning views. That ends up at Bedouin Station, cross the Chain Bridge by the Chain Bridge Hotel, and it's only a 10-minute walk from there to the weir. So I hope you're enjoying this one. As I said, these have been on the cards for such a long time. I'm so glad that we made it, and we've got more to come in this episode. Incredibly, the Horseshoe Falls forms part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is from start to finish 11 miles. That is amazing. And a fun fact about the canal, it only drops 500 millimeters, half a meter, or less than 2 feet in the whole 11-mile section. That is amazing. To think that this was designed and built in 1795 and completed in 1805. The majority of the walk from Llangollen to the Horseshoe Falls is flat. The only steep part of the walk is from Llangollen town centre up to Llangollen Wharf, where the horses are based that pull the narrowboats along the river. You can get a ticket, you can have a ride on the narrowboats. I think currently it's £11. It doesn't go all the way through the canal, it just goes up a portion of it. It is certainly worthwhile paying the £11 to take the narrowboat ride. It is very picturesque, very quiet. As you see in the photo there, we have Bedouin Station. There it is. And also the Chain Bridge. Our last stop in this episode is a former workhouse near the village of Llanfyllin. It was designed by a county surveyor called Thomas Penson, and the Poor Law Commission authorised the workhouse to be extended so it could accommodate 250 inmates. Yeah, as you see it looks like a prison there, doesn't it? So you would have had 4 courtyards, one for men, one for boys, one for women, and one for girls. They were all separated and set to work as they were poor and the state no longer supported them. Looking in the centre of that video as we pull away, there is a central building with a cupola on top. This would have been where the matron and the master would have lived, and he would have had a view of every courtyard from that building, and then when it was time to eat or work or go to sleep, he would go up into the bell tower or the cupola and ring the bell. The workhouse became an old people's home from 1966 until its closure in 1982. It was managed by Mr. and Mrs. Bowen, and it was called The Meadows in English, and in Welsh it was called y Dowledd. And the Preservation Trust now, they run workshops. You can stay in the bunkhouses there. There is a cafe, and I can tell you the food is amazing in the cafe. A small menu, but it is really nice. They've got an escape room there as well. So, yep, these guys in Preservation Trust, they are trying to gain as much money as they can and steadily renovate the property back to its former glory. As I leave you with some overhead shots of the former Union workhouse, you can see that Fireman Sam turned up. Don't know why they were there. Nothing wrong with the workhouse, but there he is in his fire engine. Anyway, we stopped off in Aberystwyth for a cup of coffee in the Kelly Kettle mug. And of course, whilst we were there, we had to go and look for some sea glass.